Hey guys, my name is Nemanja and I'm the CEO and founder of Nootka Sound, a professional podcast production facility. I've been putting off doing this for way too long, so welcome to our long-awaited YouTube channel. But you know, as they say, a wizard is never late. On this channel, we're going to talk about anything and everything in regards to podcast production. And not just podcast production, but audio production in general. So music mixing, sound design in games and movies, audiobook editing, whatever, you name it. We're going to cover tips and tricks regarding pre-production, recording and post-production so you can get the best out of your audio. So if you're interested in all of that, make sure to subscribe. We'll be putting out more videos in the future. Okay, let's start with the basics. I'm sure a lot of you know this, but there are a lot of people who aren't really sure what a podcast actually is. So let's help them out. What is a podcast? Technically speaking, a podcast is an interview-based, spoken word digital file that's distributed as a series of episodes. The name itself is a combination of the word iPod and broadcasting. That's pretty cool, right? The best thing about this medium is its accessibility, meaning we're able to consume it across a variety of platforms and devices. The only thing that's required is the internet access, which, if you're watching this, then you're fine. How is it formatted? In general, one podcast episode is usually comprised of the opening sequence. This is what we refer to as the intro, the interview, which is the main body of the show, and then the closing sequence, which is the outro. We can also include some other stuff like messages from sponsors and ads, and they have a different name depending on their placement in the episode. Now, the intro and the outro are usually just a voiceover that's overlaid on top of music, so we kinda get this radio jingle that introduces the show and closes it out. The interview, which is the main part of the show, is usually presented as a dialogue between the host and the guest. And we can have multiple guests and multiple hosts, or we can have one guest and one host, and anything in between that. What's the goal of a podcast? Well, basically the goal is to convey some sort of message to anyone in the world who's willing to listen. Now, the message itself isn't really important because you can talk about anything you want really. The only important thing is to create the show in regards to the person for whom the message is intended to. Does that make sense? So, if you want your show to be about basketball, you need to create the show with basketball fans in mind. That means the style and the format of the show matches the type of content that basketball fans tend to consume. Also, one more important thing is the reason why you're doing this podcast. Is it just to have fun, or are you looking to get something out of it? For example, you may be a company that's looking to increase sales or create a community around your brand. That's also really important to consider when launching a podcast. Make sure you know why are you doing this and who's your target audience, and then you can start creating content that matches that. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like and share so more people can see it. Thank you for watching.